It's been since Saturday that I checked in with y'all. What I was trying to say a few minutes ago. But as people are coming in here, though, oh shoot, I was trying to turn my chat on. Um, as everyone's coming in here, though, please be aware to be respectful and mindful, especially for all of our new people who are coming in here too, to make sure we're showing them all the respect, so that way they know how to act mature on here. Not saying you do, but yeah. Anywho, yeah. So as y'all are coming in here, and also for my mods who are coming in here too, please be aware to be respectful because I have mods who come in here, y'all. So just thought I would clear that up really quickly. But if you are new here, welcome. And if you're a returning guest who's been on my lives before, welcome back. I love having all new and returning people on here. Yeah, right now we're just relaxing right now. Nothing too crazy. Yeah. But yep. I mean, so far my day's been going good. Haven't really done a whole lot because I woke up around like 11:30 or so, and then yeah, woke up around 11:30ish. Got ready for the day, ate breakfast, and now kind of since then just been relaxing and stuff like that. But yeah. So, yeah, so feel free to come in here, ask questions, say hey, get to know the channel. Y'all can kind of come in here, get to know me a bit. All the things you come in here and do. Because on here, we don't do much besides talking and just saying hey to each other and just talking about all just things that people would talk about. Unless if I think about something specific on a certain day, then that's a different story. But other than the majority of streams and stuff are just talking streams where we're just having a conversation in the chat, but also at some point in the live stream, feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't done that, so you can be up to date on every single live stream and video and short and all things on here that gets posted. Because, like I say it too, I do hate when people do not get notified about anything of mine that comes out that either they didn't realize came out or they didn't somehow get a notification saying that I posted something or I went live, So I would just hate for people not to have that happen. So be sure you are putting you put all your notification settings to all notifications so you can be up to date on every single update, because I would hate if people got every other update and not ones before that, because that's, in some people's case, that kind of happens, where some people kind of get, like, they will get about every other notification or every couple notifications, or just one or two notifications saying that I posted or am live. So, yeah. But other than that, we're just relaxing, hanging out, and stuff like that. But yeah. Hang on, let me do this real quick while we're talking. So yeah, I was just fixing. Lost it. Give me adjusted. Sorry, I was turning my lighting up just a little bit on my phone so that way I can see you guys. Cause I'm usually the person who kind of I do keep the brightness down quite a bit. But for example, unless if I'm streaming or something, I would turn it up just a little bit so I can still see you guys and y'all can still see me, even though y'all won't have the huge complaint. But yeah. So we're just relaxing right now. I'm gonna wait for people to get in here because I will give you guys an update. Because for some of you who have been in my past couple live streams, so for example, Saturday and Thursday, I think, was when it was. Or I think I did a couple that were also on my days off too. But yeah, these past like 2 to 3 streams or so, I've given y'all an update on my boyfriend because some of you know that I talk about him sometimes in my streams just because I love him, and even y'all are starting to get to know him pretty good. And yeah, he just, like, a few days ago, he had surgery done to him, and I've even been giving you guys updates on recovery status and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a minute though, just to let people get in here so that we all can actually hear out on it. Because y'all, we did actually get to FaceTime last night once again, and that went pretty good, luckily. Which usually when we're calling it usually does go well. Like there's never really been a call where it's went bad when it comes to us too. So that's a good thing. But yeah, yo, we're just relaxing. So, you know, feel free to come in and say hey and all that, stay for a bit. And y'all, this is everyone's relaxing period, by the way. Because, y'all, life gets crazy. Like, y'all, we're young adults and teens in here. And it does get pretty crazy. Especially because, some of us have jobs in here, but some of us don't. But sometimes we still do have things on top of everything else that we do. And we just try to find that stopping point. And so, especially with my lives, it's one of those points where we can pause and just put the brake in neutral for a little bit before we keep sending it into drive mode. But y'all, let me just say this. It's a good thing to put your gear in neutral, by the way, throughout the day. At points, because if you just have it in drive all day, then you are literally just gonna be, your head's just gonna get too full and you're gonna stress yourself out to the point where it's gonna become like serious. So luckily with me, I am been putting it on neutral. Like, I'm not rushing myself right now with anything chaotic. Hey Mel, how are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Yeah, Mel, like that's the thing, because I mean, if you think about it, for a lot of us teens and adults, like some of us work jobs, but some of us don't, but we still have things we do. Like either we have stuff in the middle of the day that we might have to do that just pop up. And sometimes, usually for some people, like a lot of us here will have that, where we're just going to always end up having the gear and drive throughout the day without realizing that we're just going to get too stressed out. Because the thing is, when the gear is in drive, like, we're not talking cars, it's people too, because we have those gears just in our brains. But if we keep just having that gear in drive all day, we're going to be stressing our brains too much to where it gets severe. So, at some point in the day, for a good little bit, have it in neutral. Because like I said, if we have it in drive 24 hours, then that's not a good thing at all. Because you could crash quickly, but also you can start getting stressed out faster. And so it's really good to make sure you are having it in neutral, not, and sometimes it's good to park too, but the majority have it in neutral where you're going slow, not going this. You can't just do that. So I'm thankful with me, I've kept me in the neutral mostly. But there's been times as well where I've kind of been in that fast pace, but luckily we find our neutral gear and slow it down. And that actually is some good advice for me to put out there, because a lot of us don't look at that. I really feel like we don't pay attention towards that at all. Maybe that needs to be a video. But anyway, yeah, because y'all, even like I said, teens and adults had this, but also mainly adults had this too, because we're working jobs, we are doing a whole lot these days, because that's what adults do, and there's points where we're trying to stop what we can't. So if we slow down that gear to neutral, we can go slower and not feel like our brain's in so much pressure and stuff like that. Like, y'all, I'm almost 20 telling you guys this from my standpoint. And so, even it's, like I said, it's not just adults that need to hear that too. It's also teens that need to hear that too. Because, for all people who are 16 here, y'all are starting to get a job. Or even getting in that process. But also, for all my teens in here who are getting into high school, like, if y'all are just starting out in high school, it's a big stress gear. Or if you're almost the end of middle school but going into high school, yeah, it is a huge stress mind. Like, y'all, I still remember myself. Like, I still remember freshman me adapting to the layout a bit. Because, as a freshman on the first day, does get pretty intense. Because you're trying to learn where your classes are. You're trying to learn the layout. So you know how to memorize it by days 2 through the end of the year. And so, yeah. It's pretty crazy. Oh, God. Alright. Okay. Thanks for letting me know, Mel. But god dang, that's nuts. But, what the hang on, y'all. What the frick was that? But, yeah, it's just one of those things, because, high school is like the main stress chaos year, because high school is the full year that you're in your last 4 years of the school year, but also those last 4 years are literally preparing you for after high school, if you want to get a job, or if you want to go to college, or if you don't. You don't have to go to college. It could be anything. And it's just, it's just trying to find a lot of the right stuff that works for you. And so, yeah, crazy. And then at 16, we're slowly trying to get a job, because that's what we can do at 16, is actually apply for jobs at 16. Sometimes 15, but not all places 15. I kind of wish they did. But, yeah, and like an example of that, I've been attempting jobs since I was 16, but right now I am doing it in a more helpful way because of my it's not because of my disability, it's just because, y'all, let me just say this, I'm thankful that, so, for example, in my state and a few other states, they have this kind of thing, but it just depends on the state you're in, because, I'll just tell you, it's awesome. Stacy, what the heck are you doing? But, so for my state, I live in Texas, for those of you that want to know that. So they have a thing out here in my state, but they also have, like this too with other states, but with their names in it, or just something different related. But it's called Texas Workforce, and what happens there, it's kind of cool. So for people with disabilities, like learning disabilities like me and my boyfriend, for example, they can actually help us get a job, but also not just get a job. They can help us like find a job within like what first thing you do though is you meet with your counselor you're going to be on your case with, then y'all discuss over like kind of like what you're something what I'm doing coming up is called an assessment where me and another person that will also be tagging along to help me out with the main part of it. Let me put my phone for a second. But what they will do is they'll help me out, look at my things I'm good at, what I'm not good at, so this way when we're almost finished with that process, they can go back to my counselor, narrow it down to these options that I would probably do best at. So then this way, in the future, when I am, like, literally getting a job in the future, or if I do another job that has to be in that category, I'm not picking something that's off the list of things, you know? Thanks. But, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, you're looking at your list, like, you list things down you're good at, you know, it's like that. So it's looking at that list of your good things that you're good at and things you're not good at. You know what's best just by your skill set of things. And so at the end, they'll narrow it down to those few things and then find jobs within that category. Go, okay, here's your options that seem best in our opinion. And then I go, okay, and just see how I like it, you know? BG, how are you doing, girl? It's been a minute since you were in here. Daniel, I'm freezing. Let me put you right here because I'm gonna grab my jacket. But, just a second, I'm freezing. I mean, y'all, I do hate when it's cold in here, but that's why I've got a lightweight jacket. So if I have to put it on, I can. Because I'm not gonna freeze in the day middle of the day. Like, I'm not gonna freeze right now while we're talking. But, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that you do. But, yeah, pretty crazy. Oh, and also, while we got more people now in here, I will go ahead and give you guys kind of an update on my boyfriend for those of you that are curious. So from when I talked with him yesterday, luckily right now he's doing good, y'all. I'll say that about him. He's doing good physically, but recovery wise, I mean, it's just, you know, it's just one of those things. It's just slow and stuff like that. But at this point, he's likely telling me it's now just more of like, it's just more like itching and stuff like that at this point. So it's nothing too crazy that I've been telling you guys, but it's just one of those things where you just gotta do all that. I'm doing all right. What about you, BG? It's been a little bit, but yeah. And so, but yeah, I mean, right now, it's just, you know, recovering is one of the best things to do it all. But I mean, at this point, luckily I can tell you guys the update is more of just like an itching sensation for him. But yeah, I mean, his update though, especially Stacy, I'll tell you it too. Like from when he and I talked on FaceTime last night, because we FaceTime like mostly every day to every other. It just depends on if he's busy with stuff on a certain day. It just depends really, but he'll let me know if he is busy or not. Well, if he isn't, well, if he is busy, but yeah. And so, but yeah, I mean, right now I feel decently enough to tell you guys that at this point, his update, it's at this point, his wrist is more of like an itching sensation now than just it hurting as much. But he also did tell me that he is taking like Motrin and ibuprofen, all that stuff, every like 4 hours. So he is taking like pain medications every couple hours to help with the pain too. So I'm glad he's at least doing that too. So I'm thankful that. So at least right now I'm saying that it's not super bad than I've been telling you guys. But I mean, these past few days I've been kind of a mess. But I mean, like for example, y'all, yesterday actually, when I was at church yesterday, like because I also go to Bible study beforehand. Like they've got like small group Bible study groups where you get placed in your you'll be in a group with people around your age. So for example, right now I'm in the age group of 18 up to like 24, I think is the age group I'm in right now. And I was telling a lot of them what's been happening with him too and all that. Y'all. Yeah, I kind of want to start now, but I'm not going to. But hopefully not. I'm holding myself together. But, yeah. And I kind of was trying just to slight when I was talking about it. Because, I mean, that's kind of what I've been looking like these past couple of days when I've explained it to a lot of you. Because, I mean, I love him with all that. And so, yeah, it's pretty crazy. But, but yeah. And yes. Exactly. Yeah, like definitely. Yeah, like job counseling like that is really good, and it's also really good for people like me with a learning disability because like, after a couple of years of trying your best and just seeing what happens, and for me, at this point, it's just getting to that point where I'm like, okay, you know what? I am going to get help at this point because I'm not trying to risk again. And, it's better than me risking and just keep doing it because, it's one of those things. But I'm glad that, for example, Texas workforce is a thing in my state, but there's also other states have the same thing too, but almost with their state name or just the other half of the name of it too. And yeah, I'm glad that that's a thing because if it wasn't, then imagine how that's gonna get. It would look chaotic at that point. But yeah, yes, definitely continue to be praying for him for sure. Because I mean, right now, it's just kind of the same majority of just, just praying for him to keep recovering and keep doing what he's doing. Because, y'all, recovering from something like that or other stuff, it takes a little bit. Like, it takes a little bit just to, because, it's not like a couple days and done. Sometimes you might have to wait a week or 2 or 3. It just depends. Like, y'all, like I said, my best guessing, because one of the things I've told y'all is he's had to also wear a sling on his right arm like he's had to have a sling on his right arm since then. And I asked him how long it was. He doesn't remember, but my guessing, so I'm just guessing this, y'all. My only guess is somewhere between a couple to like a few weeks at max, I would want to say, for something like this. But luckily, he's also saying to me too that he's also icing it every little bit because it does kind of get a little bit swollen. So that's at least there is something good happening too in between the updates and stuff like that. But yeah, pretty crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Whew, freezing, I don't want to talk about this. Wait, what? Exactly. Stacy, I'll tell you this, getting a job in general these days, it's not even easy to get a job. Like a lot of people either make it look easy or I think it makes it look easy when it's not. Like, you know, it's not, and I'm not saying it is because half things like this is not, it's not like, okay, you're doing this, snap, now. Y'all, the thing is, when it comes to getting a job, it's filling out an application. You go in possibly for an interview. If you do get a call back, I only got 2 of those, but 2 different times. One time it was last year, and then the second one was like a few months ago, which I wish happened, but was heartbroken about. But at this point, I'm glad I'm getting help about it. And, yeah, and it's just, at this point, my advice about that is keep trying until you feel like you can't. Like, for me, that's my point. But luckily, I'm getting help at this point, so it's a lot better than... And let me say, I feel like so far doing this process, I feel like I'm at least a step closer than what I would be if I just kept doing it on my own. Because, it makes me... The best analogy I would give, it's almost like I'm at, like... I think of all kinds of stuff, but it's almost like I'm on second base right now. Like, it feels like I'm at least a step closer than a step back, because at the end of the day, I rather feel like I'm at least a step closer than just keep going back to square one, and jobs usually should not look like that, But I'm not in a rush, though, y'all. I'm almost 20. I graduated high school a year ago. And at this point, it is just enjoying country life on top of just general, and just feeling it, too. Because, my senior year, for something that I've told some of you about my senior year and stuff like that. But for some of my new people who are coming in here, to let y'all know, my senior year was a good year, but then it went down pretty quickly because I found out I had to transfer schools my second semester, which it sucked. I'm not gonna lie, it did suck a little bit because no one knew I was going to graduate with my boyfriend or any of my friends that I've known since high school or before high school, because some of my friends in high school I've known either in 5th grade or in middle school. Just kind of crazy to think about. But it's kind of cool, though, because you knew a lot of people in high school. And so it was difficult for me knowing that wasn't going to happen. But at the same time, I was thankful I got my high school diploma and all the stuff. Then just, hang on. I probably will show you guys me for some of you that want. Hang on. I will show you guys a pic, actually, of me back in that day. Oh, man. There's a lot of my chest going on. But let me just grab a pic so I can show you guys what I was looking like at that day. But, oh, what's a good pic I can show you guys? Man, there's so many good pics of myself I got from graduation. Let me see. I'm trying to find the best pic I can show you guys of me. So, for example, this was me when I graduated high school, for those of you that want to look at this, or for all my new people that want to get to know. That's what it looks like graduation day. That was crazy to look at. But, yeah, that was me as a high school grad. Now, I will show you guys when my boyfriend graduated as well. And then that was us too. But I'll get another picture too that's also better. Here we go. This is the better one. So this was me and him, and then Stacy. Remember Asia, who's also started coming in here? That's her next to me. That's Asia. That's also that's on the left. So it was me, my best friend Asia, and then my boyfriend AJ in that photo. But y'all, I was thankful I was able to find a way to come and support my boyfriend, but also my friends too, because it was hard for me knowing I wasn't gonna be graduating with them. And y'all, a twister to that, I almost would have been graduating on my mom's birthday. I almost would have, but instead I actually ended up graduating a day before my Nana's birthday, which was my dad's mom, who passed 3 years ago. So at the same time, at least there was something that happened. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy, I'm not gonna lie, looking back at all that. But yeah, and yeah, for some of you, I've told some of you about her, but yeah, she unfortunately passed about 3 years ago due to her last years of dementia. And for people who have a loved one who has dementia, y'all, people with dementia, it's the hardest thing to see, especially in Alzheimer's too, but dementia is just the hardest thing to see because it gets stronger, and you know, like they'll get to a point where they'll get confused easily. You know, they'll remember some things about you, but not everything. It just, yeah, it was hard for me knowing that it was difficult. But at the end of the day, I graduated before she would have been turning, I think, 74. I think she would have been turning 74 at that point. But yeah, I think 74 or almost 75. But I think it was 74 at that time. But yeah, crazy. And now, y'all, I am like a few more, like 4 months away until I'm 20. And just looking back at a lot of that just really goes to show how far you've came, but also where you are now. Because it went from senior year me just like literally having a good year, half of my first semester, then knowing I was going to transfer schools, which was the worst year, and then knowing I graduated high school, felt good about it, and then seeing my boyfriend graduate, which y'all to tell you guys about that too. Oh, y'all, I knew I was gonna be wild in the audience. Like, out of his section, I knew I was gonna be the craziest one, which I was. I was literally yelling, like I was like screaming, I love him in the freaking audience. Just wild. But I was thankful that I got to see him walk the stage because, y'all, I mean, I wish he could have seen me too, but he ended up, I think, getting busy or just forgot by accident. But I was luckily able to send him pics and stuff like that from when I graduated, so he could still see some of it. But y'all, when I graduated though, I felt like he was with me in that moment by heart. And then when he graduated, I felt like I was the same way. But yeah. Yeah, it's never easy, especially now. However, keep your head up. Yes, it's never easy knowing stuff like that because, you know, like an example, in high school, y'all, we have the vision of graduating with all our friends by senior year. Then to know that you're gonna move the same year that it happens. And then also with my aunt, it's the same way too, knowing that it's so funny because even there's been times I remembered my papa talking about, imagine us hopefully being there when you graduate to now we're all looking back, plans change like that. But at the same time, they were literally with me in spirit though. So at least something kind of happened with that. But yeah, and then yeah, it's crazy because you don't know what's gonna happen and stuff like that. But yeah, my boyfriend is just truly amazing. Like some of you have seen a lot of his progression. Like I've shown a little bit of him on here, but not a lot. But yeah, we're just chilling. But oh man, crazy. Yeah, let's see. Just gonna adjust my own image. But yeah, it's just one of those things and all that just happen. But yeah. Hey, let me get up real quick because I keep laying flat for a bit. But hang on. I'm gonna put y'all right. I'll be right back. I'll put y'all right here while I get my jacket off because now it's making me crazy. Oh, here we go. Actually, I will show you guys this while I'm actually around. So right here, for example, y'all, this was both of us when we did our senior photos. I actually did all my senior photos when I was at my old school, but this was like in November when we did them. So that's him right here. Y'all, look how good he looks. And then here's me up top. And yes, you guys, my hair was down in this, by the way. Like, it was curled a little bit. My makeup looking all cute. It's just so crazy. Yeah, that's like counting other people. But yeah, that was the two of us. Right there when... And y'all, let me just say this. I was actually thinking this earlier. I was thankful now that we both did our senior photos in November instead of the summer because if we were not doing it in the summer, like if we didn't do anywhere until like June, July area of that year, then we would have not been living together. Because y'all, we didn't start dating till like September of like that year of 2023 going into 2024. And so, yeah. So yeah, I'm thankful I did not do my senior photos in the summer because it was not till the fall that we were together. Which basically was, for at that point, it was like almost 2.5 weeks before I was literally 18 at that time as well. And so, yeah, I was thankful we both did our senior photos at the same time and like the same date and time. Yeah, which, y'all, that day it was, I think, November 11th. I think it was either November 11th or 4th. I will need to look back. But yeah, I think, like I said, it's either the 4th or the 11th we did that year. At 1. At like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And so, yeah, pretty crazy. And then, yeah, and, I mean, it's still is crazy to me that the fact of that we did our senior photos, literally, the same day, but y'all, the crazy part too was at first, like when I think I was the first one that was there, and then I think I was the first one there, and then he showed up, but I was inside because he texted me, "Hey, where did I hit the park?" And I'm like, I I wasn't even looking at my phone at that time because I was in here getting all like it almost started, and so yeah, so luckily he and I got caught up like together, like so. The thing is, when y'all in senior photos, what's kind of cool for us, what we did was there were different there were like 3 different sections you had to go by. So at first you would do just like the half, like you would, because there's different pieces that you wear for those photos to make them look good. So like you would do like the half top look, like, so it makes you look like you're wearing something nice up top. It's like almost like, it's kind of cool. It's almost like a half cape, but not quite a cape. But it's just like this half cute up to here little thing, which that's what in that photo y'all saw when I was showing y'all the 2 of us hung up above my calendar. So that's what that looks like. And then yeah, so that way it makes you pop out. And then after that we did the cap and gown, where we took their cap and gown, because for the exact company that does it, which is Jostens, for those that never heard of that company, they do a lot of like school photos, school senior rings, stuff like that, all the crazy things that are high school related. But yeah, and so we did the cap, then I did the cap and gown section, and then after that we stopped, because we stopped for a few minutes because AJ was already catching up to me at this point. And so luckily we both got to, so the last round was kind of cool and actually kind of fun too, where we basically got to change all that and go and get into our outfits that we chose of option. Like we got to choose what we kind of wanted to look like in those. So I decided to wear the same dress that I wore to graduation, y'all. Let me see if I've got a picture of me in it, because if I do, I can show you guys, but can't. Give me just a second. So for example, so again, I'm going to show you this picture again, but so for example, the dress I'm wearing in this photo was what I wore in senior photos, and a few things within that same year. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I was using the restroom. But yeah, and so I was literally wearing the same dress I wore for graduation. Like for example, I was wearing that same dress in my senior photos for but yeah, actually, yeah, I will show you guys too what we looked like for senior photos too while we're talking that category. But let me pull it up so y'all can see what we looked like. So just give it a second. So y'all, an example, my boyfriend looked like this in his senior photo. So he was wearing this gray polo, which y'all, aka, he also wore this polo for graduation as well. So we both were wearing something of ours that were, so we both wore something, like both our outfits for graduation. But the only difference was he was wearing like jean shorts on that day. I thought he would have been in jeans, but he was wearing jean shorts and different shoes, which were, but yeah, look how good he looks though. Like, God. Like, he was wearing these really cool tennis shoes, which I think are now old now, but literally, y'all, I don't know if it's just me, but he just gives, I don't know why, I see this in him with the outfit on, but he looks like if y'all, AJ to me in this photo makes me think of if he were a dad in like 10 years. Even though I'm not thinking kids, but if I did, he would look like a total dad in this outfit. And then for me, I'll show y'all a good photo with me. Let's see, what's the best one to show you guys? And then this is what I wore. So this is the dress I showed you all that I wore for. What the fuck was that? So yeah, here's something completely weird from that. But yeah, this is what, like, for example, this is what I wore in senior photos and graduation. And actually, the necklace I wore in senior photos, this necklace does have a little bit of a meaning behind it. Like it does. Which, a lot of you can't see up close. But on the necklace, though, specifically, it has two hearts that cross each other. And my papa gave it to me before I don't know how long ago it was. It was like sometime a little before he passed, but not that long ago. But yeah, and so that was me as well, which I look how good. But yeah, that's what I wore for senior photos, which, like I said, I wore the same dress when I graduated. You know, that was also the purpose. That was also one of the main purposes I got that dress as well, was for graduation. So then this way when the day when that day came, then I already had my graduation dress already in front of me, just so that way, because a lot of people tend to wait either till a couple weeks leading up to or the week of graduation to get a dress, when, you know, sometimes you never know if they can be sold out of your size or not. But even the funny part was when I saw that dress, I knew that I had to get it, because I got it one of the weeks that I was doing my back to school shopping of my senior year. And y'all, even I actually wore that dress also throughout the year a couple times just to really get used to it. I kind of wish all people did that, but yeah, I did that just so that way my body could just get used to it, and that way it's not like, okay, I bought it for one occasion and then that's the only time it gets worn. Like, I think one of the main times I first wore it was when me and my boyfriend went on our first actual date, where it was just he and me, one-on-one, and not us being distracted around others, which was in our high school year. And then I wore it for senior photos, then I wore it for other events, other things too, like sometimes during the school year, a couple times, and then also day of graduation when I transferred. And even I wore it a couple times in my new school too, just to get the hang of it. But yeah, so that's literally what I did wear in that exact period of time. But yeah, pretty crazy to say that, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. So let me actually sit down because I keep standing up too much. God dang. Here we go. But yeah, that was like literally one of the times with the two of us that we were just wearing all that. But I try to miss any comments here. But yeah. Oh, here we go. This I did see this comment. I didn't read it. But yeah, and like I said, the update with AJ, y'all, is just, it's just another day with him. At least from what I heard yesterday, luckily at this point it's more of just like, at this point it's just like, luckily the pain is more of like an itching sensation now than just it hurting as much, so that's at least a good sign. But you know, it still is kind of hard. It still is a little bit hard on me, but you know, day by day it'll calm my system. Actually, y'all, while we're kind of talking about that, actually, I will bring this up. So last night when he and I were on the call, oh my god, y'all, let's just say my boyfriend just made me laugh a ton on the call last night, and and also his brother kind of came in here too a couple times, because I even know his brother a little bit, and okay, they both were being so crazy a few times. And let's just say I got a good laugh out of it. Let's just say my boyfriend just got me. Let's just say my boyfriend definitely made me laugh where it definitely felt good. Like, last night, like, he definitely just gave me that kind of a good feeling in my system, because man, me laughing a lot last night on the call, I needed that. Like, I actually needed that, because these past like 4, it's like 5 now, but yeah, it's like 5 days at this point. But yeah, these past couple of days, it's just, I just needed that in my system for at least a few minutes to feel somewhat good, because it's just been back and forth of just good for a little while, then I start coming down, and just like, there's points like I'm doing all right, hanging in there, and then all of a sudden I start literally looking like a crazy mess after a little bit. And so even I'm thankful that I'm thankful he did literally just take, best way I'm saying it though, y'all, is I'm thankful that he did give me a good laugh out of myself for at least like maybe 30 minutes, probably. For at least a few minutes, which felt pretty good. But I mean, y'all, he did not realize in that moment how much I needed that to come out of myself. Because it's just like I said, it's been difficult these past 5 days of just, you know, just thinking about him a lot, just worried about him because I love him to death, and you know. And y'all, the thing is too, while we're saying that, y'all, I have never had that emotion ever come out of me before around him. Like, that's the first time I've ever experienced an emotion like this, because like I said, it's like the love care kind of cry, where you love them so much and you wish you could do something to help them, or you wish you could be there for them but you can't because either you live too far or you can't drive, or or you don't live in them full time, and it's just you care about them so much that you wish you could be there for them when you aren't able to. And so it's been hard for those days so far. Even kind of today too, but luckily I haven't cried yet, but let's see if I can keep that going. Because there's definitely points where I'm kind of wanting to, but I'm not. But y'all, the thing is, with y'all, let me just say this though. The thing is, I don't just show you guys my good side a lot. Like, I don't just show y'all, I do show it, but y'all, there's times besides my positive and happy side that y'all see, I sometimes do show just a little bit of my other emotions too, because everyone just watches me and might think that, oh wow, how is she so happy all the time? I wish I was like her. When really I'm just like any other human being, where we have it, like, where y'all, I have emotions too. It's just either I don't physically show it to you guys, or it happens when I'm not on. And so sometimes it's okay to show it, just so that way other people know that you're just like, that you are human. Because we're people. We have emotions. It's just that either we don't show it because either we don't want to, or it's just what we do. Like, I kind of show you guys just a couple of them, like, just like, like if I'm feeling down, or if I'm feeling good, I'll show it to you. Because for those people that ever get to that thought of thinking, how does she stay so positive all the time? I wish I could be that positive. Which, y'all, not everyone has that ability. Like, I don't all the time have that ability. It just, and plus, each day it will depend on how you feel. Like, every single day, we are not the same emotion. Like, there's one day we'll be good for just, or like, we'll be feeling good and normal. Next day we'll probably feel down or depressed due to something. Next day we'll feel mad because someone irritated us. Every day is a different emotion. Like, there's days with me that I have good days and then I have bad days, which is normal. Y'all, as human, like, I'll just say that. As a human being, we have good days and bad days. Even when we get older, it's the same way too. Even now, we do too. Like, even people with certain medical conditions like me, I have my good days and bad days. Like, earlier, I think, I'll say it this way, definitely earlier for a few minutes, I was feeling like I was getting dizzy, which is an epileptic thing in me, just due to medication stuff, which I do hate that a lot. And I was getting dizzy for a little bit, but I was just like this, where I was sitting in bed, relaxing, not trying to hit the brake, not trying to hit the gear and drive, and just slow down. And earlier, y'all, that's why I said that piece of advice where if you keep hitting the brake and drive, the gear, not brake, if you keep hitting the gear and drive all the time like that, then you're just going to stress yourself out. And you're just going to be stressed, like, you're going to stress yourself out to where it's going to get serious. But there's points in life where we can actually slow down. Like, we actually need to, like, the gear that we need to have it at is neutral. We need to have it in neutral, because if we have it in drive all the time for 24 hours and 7 days of the week, we will be stressing our heads off. Like we would want to do something extreme about that. But if there's also good points in the day where you can just hit that gear in neutral. I feel like I want to share that for some reason now. But just hit the gear in neutral. It's okay to slow down sometimes. Don't feel like you have to constantly be driving a lot. Not like car, but like what I'm saying of advice. Meaning, don't feel like you have to feel like you have to constantly do it. It's literally okay. Whew. Yeah, look at me getting all that rush in my head. But it is okay to slow down sometimes, because the thing is, when we slow down like that tells us that like, that just means stop, take a breath, calm down from whatever you're going through. And oh yeah, I'm gonna cry just saying that. Like, just stop, take a deep breath, and pause for like a few minutes, an hour, just pause. Just pause and breathe at some point in the day, because let's say you keep the gear in drive all day, every day, without hitting it in neutral. Because, like I said, if you are not doing that, you are going to risk yourself for something deadly, probably, or make yourself feel like you were overwhelmed. Because you're just going to get overwhelmed with fear, anxiety, depression, anger, people are going to make you go on your nerve, and if you don't hit the gear in neutral, then you're just going to let those emotions control you all the time without feeling good for once. Because, y'all, we want to feel good. We want to feel happy without feeling like we have to act it out for others just to see. Y'all, you know what? Maybe that needs to be one of my next, that might just need to be one of my next videos I do for my positivity series. That might just be a video idea that will come out of me. So I think some of y'all just kind of got me the idea of kind of what I might do for the next episode of our positivity advice series. I might change that a little bit though, but yeah. Yeah. Because y'all, we need to hear that positive reinforcement and know that we're okay. We are doing good. We are not just sorry, I'm just thinking of stuff right now. Or maybe we can make that into a live stream series, actually, where we physically hear all of it. Because, people, that might be actually a cool live stream idea that we'll do eventually. I'll have to get all that prepared, but that'll just be an idea I'll throw out there. But anyway, I really hope a lot of you guys are having a good day though, because days get chaotic, gets wild, but like I said, just know it is okay. It is okay to hit the see, I get too carried away when I'm talking about. It is okay to hit the gear in neutral. Like I'm serious. And plus, neutral is where I feel like we all need to be at. That's our good side, is make sure your gear is in neutral. Because if it's in drive it's okay to sometimes have it in drive, but maybe for only for a certain amount of time. But 100% of the time we definitely want to make sure that it is in neutral, because if not, we are just going to stress ourselves out to the point where it could become a medical condition for us that we live with, or just something that just lives in our minds and stuff like that. But yeah, so yeah, we're just hanging out, chilling. But yeah. Oh wait, hang on. I'll do this. I'll make this one person. You know what? I could just have this person put. There we go. Sorry to add someone else's mod because I realized this person is an adult and also would be fitting. But, yeah. And so, yeah. But just know it is okay to hit the gear in neutral sometimes. But maybe that will be a live stream series we do. But yeah, I mean, y'all, maybe that can be an idea I'll eventually think about and do like an affirmation series, but live stream edition, where a lot of us actually hear. I don't know. I'm not rushing that right now, but that's more of just an idea I'll think about. And if I do start doing that, then that will definitely be an amazing stream idea to put out for others, because y'all, in our world today, it is just nothing but hate and just people just making bad decisions and just not acting mature enough, because I think a lot of us do see that, though, because there's a lot of people out there that are just making bad decisions and they don't know what it means to themselves. And yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's a lot. That's made my mind go through. But yeah. So but y'all, I'm probably gonna get off live for now, and maybe I'll do another stream this evening, maybe, with just, I don't know, maybe I'll come back this evening and talk more with y'all, or I will come back on Wednesday and continue. But if I do a stream this evening, definitely stay tuned. But if I end up getting busy, or if I just forget to, then stay tuned sometime Wednesday. But I hope you guys are having a great rest. Hopefully everyone does have a great rest of your day, afternoon, morning, or night, wherever you are from watching. But I will see you guys out and about.